But let's go straight to our top story tonight, because hours before Bihar goes to the polls, Rahul Gandhi has dropped what he calls an H-bomb. He was hoping it would send out a thermonuclear shockwave like a hydrogen bomb, but I'm not sure if it was really that. Well, you can decide in a moment, because Rahul's big reveal was about the Haryana election, a contest last year in which his party, arrogant and seduced by the prospect of an easy victory, was trounced in one of the biggest upsets in recent election history. Now, over a year later, Rahul Gandhi claims that election was also stolen from him via, you guessed it, vote chori. In a familiar claim that has now become a Rahul Gandhi staple, the H-bomb is that the voter list was riddled with errors and manipulated, he says. The Election Commission and even independent watchers have cried themselves hoarse even today, reminding Rahul Gandhi that every party, including the Congress, has booth-level agents precisely there to detect such irregularities like the ones being pointed out by Rahul Gandhi today. If there was fraud, where were the complaints at the time? An error in a voter list doesn't equal a stolen election. No proof, none that's ever held up at a Rahul press conference, including today's, has shown those errors, translating into bogus votes. Parties are represented at every booth in this election process. They sign off after polling. Also, just as a matter of argument, why does Rahul Gandhi restrict his allegations to H-bombs and atom bombs and PowerPoint presentations at press conferences rather than go to court and sign affidavits or trigger any of the other litany of steps available to him to seriously escalate this beyond the court of sold-out media, social media armies, or WhatsApp forwards? There are institutions that can literally take Rahul Gandhi's allegations and investigate them. To be fair, where Rahul Gandhi has a totally valid point, in my view, is about using technology better to ensure that there are no duplicates and Brazilian models in voter lists. But even here, he contradicts himself. The Election Commission, as you know, is already deploying tools like SIR to clean up duplicates, a process ironically being fought tooth and nail by the Congress-led India alliance. So they're talking about these duplicates, but they're fighting against the process to actually tackle that situation. Or is it that Rahul Gandhi is just hoping that, like with the Rafale scam and any number of other allegations he has made over the years, the mere suggestion of wrongdoing will be enough to set the mood and trigger voter action? If Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition, remember, genuinely believes his allegations are watertight, why not put your money where your mouth is?
Big picture is 2 crore total voters, vote chori of 25 lakhs, possibly more, but confirmed bias of 25 lakhs. That means 1 in 8 voters in Haryana are fake.
आज उन्होंने बिहार में 2 दिन बाद पोलिंग होगा और उससे हट करके हरियाणा का कहानी सुना रहे थे। इससे साफ मालूम हो गया कि बिहार में तो कुछ बचा नहीं है।
ओपिनियन पोल्स भी कह रहे थे कांग्रेस स्वीप करेगी, एग्जिट पोल्स भी कह रहे थे, हमारा डेटा कह रहा था, हमारी पार्टी कह रही थी, बीजेपी के लोग भी हमें बता रहे थे कि देखिए आप इस बार हरियाणा में सरकार बना रहे हो। एक प्लान जिससे कांग्रेस की जो विक्ट्री थी, लैंडस्लाइड जो विक्ट्री होनी थी, वो लॉस में, हार में बदली जाए।
कांग्रेस के जो वहां के प्रदेश अध्यक्ष, उनका नाम है राव नरेंद्र सिंह। उन्होंने कहा कि वहां तालमेल ही नहीं है ग्रास रूट में कांग्रेस पार्टी का, कैसे जीत सकते हैं? जब उनके नेता, कांग्रेस के नेता ही कह रहे हैं कि वो अपने वजह से हारे हैं, और यहां राहुल गांधी कह रहे हैं वोट चोरी हो गया।
Who is this lady? How old is she? Which state does she come from? What's her name? She votes 22 times in Haryana. She's a Brazilian model. That's a stock photograph.
पिछले पार्लियामेंट सत्र में एक महिला का तस्वीर लेकर के, मिंता देवी नाम की एक महिला का तस्वीर को टी शर्ट में छपवा करके पार्लियामेंट के परिसर में घूमते रहा और उसको इतना उछला, शाम तक वो महिला ने इतना डांटा कांग्रेस पार्टी को।
इंस्टीट्यूशनल फ्रेमवर्क इनके हाथ में, हमारे हाथ में नहीं है। हम देश के युवाओं को बता सकते हैं, दिखा सकते हैं प्रूफ के साथ कि देखिए ये सबूत है।
वो जेन जी को उकसाने की बात करते हैं। हमारे देश के लोग समझदार हैं। देश के पूरा युवा पीढ़ी, पूरा न्यू जनरेशन मोदी जी के साथ खड़ा है।
Now, I don't have anything against politicians, but on the eve of Bihar polling, where this H-bomb has fallen courtesy Rahul Gandhi, I've decided to take a departure from the usual format of India Matters when I do debates and not call in any politicians and only have commentators to analyze whether the H-bomb really carries the shockwave that it promised to. Joining me, Tehseen Purawala, political analyst, Subhrashta is a political analyst as well, Anand Ranganathan, commentator and author. All three friends, all three whose views I respect a great deal. So let's leave the politicians out today and talk about this H-bomb. Anand, Subhrashta, Tehseen, welcome. Anand, let's start it off with you. You know, we'd been hearing about atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, I don't know what other bomb for a long time right now. The eve of polling in Bihar has been chosen to drop, what was touted to be the big one. Pretty familiar stuff in terms of what Rahul Gandhi has put out. Once again, about duplicate names, IDs. What did you think, Anand?
Good evening, Shiv, and good evening to my fellow panelists. No, I think Rahul Gandhi is right. It's a hydrogen bomb, all right. Lies and propaganda, the two isotopes of Rahul Gandhi, have fused through thermonuclear explosion, resulting in nonsense. Look, I have no issues if Rahul criticizes Modi, labels BJP as corrupt, but when he attacks the election commission, he is eroding the democratic system in which I and a billion others participated, and that is intolerable for me. So I am less angry at Rahul Gandhi, but more angry at Ganesh Kumar because he refuses to sue Rahul Gandhi. It's a personal affront. Look, not just today's allegation of duplicate voters and a Brazilian fashion photographer's stock photo or doctored clip of Haryana CM. Not just the recent allegation concerning Alan. That was preposterous and defies logic, given that deletion can't be done online, given that 98% of deletion submissions were rejected, given that physical verification and assent is required, given that FIR was lodged by the EC itself. Every single accusation from Rahul Gandhi on vote chori issue has been decisively refuted. Zero house numbers refuted, loan addresses refuted, elevated deceased voter count refuted, Gurkirat Gun, Aditya Srivastava, duplicate voters, each and every one. And Rahul Gandhi needs to clarify that if, as he asserts, duplicate voters help BJP, why did his winning constituency Wayanad show 20,438 duplicate voters? That's why I say Rahul Gandhi is an expert at what he does with his foot. He either shoots it or puts it in his mouth. But this time, he has managed to do both at the same time. He has not only lied on all his claims, but also indirectly endorsed the EC's SIR exercise, as you say, to fish out duplicate voters and delist them. As I have been arguing repeatedly, Shiv, 1 year after the 2024 Karnataka elections, Rahul Gandhi alleged there were 11,965 duplicate voters in the Mahadevpura assembly segment of the seat that the BJP won. Well, 1 year after the 2024 Bihar elections, the SIR has just unearthed 7 lakh duplicates from many seats that the Congress and its allies won. Does that mean 2024 election results of Bihar should be held invalid because of 7 lakh duplicate voters? And by the way, 2 years after Congress and its allies won Maharashtra, 4 lakh duplicates were deleted. Should we hold this Congress and allies victories invalid? It is routine to unearth duplicate voters months or years after an election because of migration, demographic shift, floating population. It may not mean they existed at the time of voting. The EC routinely deletes duplicates. In fact, in 2022, it deleted 10 million duplicates pan-India. Did anyone say anything? Yes. Duplicates exist. Yes, errors and discrepancies exist in voter cards, addresses, the functioning of EC. But to claim these discrepancies are deliberately carried out so as to favor the BJP is what is preposterous. Vote chori, whenever it happens, wherever it happens, is unacceptable and criminal. But to allege it is based on discrepancies that happen in constituencies won by every party is ridiculous. Because the fact is, while Rahul Gandhi highlighted duplicates in the Bangalore seat and other seats that BJP won, why didn't he highlight Wayanad and Raebareli seats that he and his sister won? Wayanad was found to have 20,438 duplicate voters. Raebareli had 19,510 duplicates, just 30 seconds. Besides, having huge addresses and voter cast discrepancies. So does that mean Rahul and Priyanka won by unfair means? Should they relinquish their seats? I repeat, India is right now angry not with Rahul because we have become so used to his lies that it is water off a duck's back. India is angry at Mr. Ganesh Kumar, the CEC, who refuses to exhibit spine and sue the pants of Rahul Gandhi for all the abuse he's subjecting Indians to by insinuating that a constitutional body overseeing elections in our country is compromised and corrupt.
I wonder, Anand, I take your point. I wonder what else the Election Commission can honestly do. Maybe at one level they feel that their hands are tied. They don't want to oxygenate this any further. But Tehseen, Anand is right when he says, today, there was some source-based information from the Election Commission which was very odd because there were specific charges, grave charges that were leveled by Rahul Gandhi of a similar nature to his past press conferences as well. Do you think there was anything additional to what Rahul Gandhi said, Tehseen? You can respond to what Anand said as well.
Good evening, Shiv. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to all the NDTV viewers and my two fellow panelists. Look, I'm very disappointed with the Honorable Election Commissioner and the Honorable Election Commission of India. Two reasons. The Honorable Leader of Opposition has made some very serious and grave charges. The answer to that can't be source-based. It has to be an institutional answer and mechanism. Now, all that the Election Commission has done is ask the Leader of Opposition to file an affidavit. You alluded to that in your opening remarks. But the sections under which they've asked the Leader of Opposition to file an affidavit itself are wrong sections. I don't want to get into too much details, but that is the fact. And the fact of the matter is, other leaders of oppositions like Akhilesh Yadav, under those sections, at the time when those sections were relevant, did file an affidavit and the Election Commission did not answer. Now, two, the Election Commission is not refuting that this is not their list. They accept that this is their list. So why is a Brazilian model there? On a lighter note, we thought the BJP won because of a Gujarat or an Uttar Pradesh model. They are winning because of a Brazilian model. But here's the question. The technology exists. The technology to see duplication of votes exists, names exist. Why isn't that technology being used? Anand alluded to somebody called an Aditya Srivastava in Karnataka. Yes, Aditya is a curious case. I studied this case. 2016, Aditya is registered in Uttar Pradesh. 2017, Uttar Pradesh has an election. He gets a job in Uttar Pradesh. Then he is registered in Maharashtra, and before Maharashtra has an election, he gets a job in Mumbai. Then he is registered in Karnataka. Before Karnataka has an election, he gets a job in Karnataka. Phenomenal. Aditya gets a job everywhere. And the only answer to the Chief Election Commissioner has given NDTV is, hey, you know what? You cannot vote at 3 places because it's a criminal offense. No look of technology. It is Ram Bharose, Bhagwan Bharose, Allah Bharose. That's not what. Why can't we get technology into play? Third thing, why isn't the Congress party or other parties detecting these frauds earlier? They cannot because you do not give us a voter readable list. The most honorable Chief Election Commissioner lied in a press conference saying there's a Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court judgment of 2018, he quotes of Kamal Nath's case, does not say you cannot have a voter readable list. He again lied about that. And something about Mahilao ki privacy chale jati hai. Okay, you are saying somebody is not voted 30 times. Let's believe you. Give us the video footage. Now you say we will not give you the video footage. One last thing that I want to say. These house numbers 0. I'm not even getting into Mr. Narendra's house number 0. Forget that argument. The Aadhaar is proof of residence. I'm not saying it's proof of citizenship. I'm not saying it's proof of identity. It's proof of residence. Now, tell me an Aadhaar which has house number 0. No Aadhaar has house number 0. But yet, you wanted the same Aadhaar, which is proof of residence, does not have house number 0, to be linked to an EPIC card.
Anand wants to respond to you.
House number 0.
Okay.
So how does house number 0 come in an EPIC card, but no Aadhaar, which is proof of residence, have a 0 number? Show me an Aadhaar with house number 0.
Okay, specific points made. Anand, you want to rebut, then I'll bring in Shubrashta.
No, Kapil Sibbal's Aadhaar card might have 0 in it. But, one of the reasons why I admire my good friend Tehseen.
Road.
Come on. Look, one of the reasons why I really admire Tehseen is that we play this lovely game called yes and no answering, because that exposes if a person is hypocrite or not. Simple questions to be answered by yes and no. And here are 2 questions that I am answering my good friend Tehseen. Yesterday he asked me a yes and no question, and even before he could finish it, I answered it, and he admired that. That's why I admire Tehseen. 2. One question. Did Mr. Pawan Khera vote twice because he had 2 EPIC cards? in one election? Number one, yes and no. And number two, when you talk of grave charges are being made, similar grave charges were made in Rafale, in Pegasus, and in Justice Loya's case. All of them went to the Supreme Court. Please tell me, did they or did they not finally get resolved by the Supreme Court? Yes or no to both questions?
No to the second one, because in Pegasus, the Supreme Court said the union government did not cooperate with them. That's the judgment.
Rafale?
But as for Pawan's specific case, if he did vote twice, yes, he may have voted twice, the Election Commission should take action against him.
Okay.
But the fact is they didn't do it. And that's what I'm saying. Anand, you cheating and I cheating can't be okay. Nobody should be cheating. The BJP is justifying saying everyone's cheated. Wayanad is cheating, Amethi is cheating, so our cheating is justified. No, Anand,
But
nobody should be cheating.
The short point also, however, which I said in my opening remarks, Subrashta, I'll bring you in on this, is that there are multiple avenues for Rahul Gandhi beyond just a press conference. When he says, but I am the leader of the opposition, my words in a press conference should trigger action all by themselves. And when faced with the options before him, which are like, signing a sworn affidavit, going to court, that doesn't seem to be something that Rahul Gandhi or the Congress want to actually pursue. Does that seem odd to you? What did you think about the H-bomb today, Subrashta?
So, thank you, Shiv, for having me on the show. I would have begun by asking you exactly this question, that have you received a note as a journalist that Rahul Gandhi has filed an affidavit or done any kind of, paperwork? Because if he has not, then it's not about institutional procedure, right? It's about moral clarity, and it's about a fancy presentation, which can be punctured on many different in many different ways. And Dr. Anand Ranganathan's comment on your show does precisely that. My second question is this, that even if we were to take away the fact that he wants a procedural answer to this question, he wants a moral answer to this question, he being Rahul Gandhi. Why doesn't he resign from the constituency that he represents? Because in all likelihood, his constituency too has fake voters. Why doesn't his sister resign in that case? Why doesn't en masse Congress party MLAs and MPs resign to protest against this extremely noble cause that Rahul Gandhi has taken up? I'm not here to defend the Election Commission. In fact, the Election Commission of India should actually come out in the open, maybe do a press conference or do something to ensure that the fiduciary responsibility it has to ensure that institutions have that kind of trust in the minds of people is restored and it's not tarnished. That's the job of ECI. But as a citizen of this country, when I see my leader of opposition, by the way, I didn't just choose Narendra Modi to be the Prime Minister of this country. I also chose Rahul Gandhi to be the leader of opposition. When I see my leader of opposition doing this drama every 15 days, and being called by the people of this country, being cajoled by them to go and submit an affidavit, to do some kind of a groundwork and present written proof, why does he shy away? Does he think he's too entitled and too arrogant a Shehzada to bow down to procedures in this country? It is Rahul Gandhi who is taking democratic institutions in this country to ransom, Shiv. Because my work as a political consultant has taught me this. Anybody worth their politics, anybody who has even a little bit of moral, modicum of truth in them and morality in them, would take the Election Commission to cleaners if he has proof and if he can go in the court of law and defend it. Why doesn't he do that? Doesn't he have a good army of karyakartas to do it, or isn't Rahul Gandhi himself not convinced of his narrative?
So that is precisely the kind of implication it has if you're not wanting to put your money where your mouth is, even procedurally. The moral argument is, of course, there. And I think we can all agree that the least that the Election Commission should be doing is at least holding a comprehensive press conference. Anand, of course, has a stronger view on what they should do. But go ahead, Anand. You had something to add to that?
No, just
coming to you, Tehseen, right after this.
Yeah, just to answer Subrashta and to you, the question, why doesn't Rahul Gandhi go to the courts? It's very simple. The things that have been resolved by the Supreme Court, Rahul Gandhi can no longer instigate people to come onto the streets and instigate anarchy like he's doing today. He is prodding the Gen Z. I hope the Gen Z looks at all these issues and pours onto the streets, or I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he wants. Can he do that on Rafale? Can he do that on Justice Loya? He can't, because the issues have been resolved, and this is what he doesn't want. This way, by not going to the courts and getting the issues resolved one way or the other, he can keep on dragging it and win brownie points that Gen Z, and blame it on Gen Z, that look, we did our best. Gen Z did not come onto the streets like they did in Bangladesh or Nepal or wherever. So it is their point, their blame.
So then he's just hoping for Mahal then, Tehseen. Because, if you're not willing to go the distance as far as your allegations are concerned, then he's just hoping that the mere suggestion of wrongdoing will be enough. And that it's all just a bahana in that case, which is what the BJP says. BJP says these are all excuses for continuing electoral defeat.
Shiv, the pertinent question both my dear friend Dr. Anand Ranganathan and Subhrashya, a political analyst, asked is, why doesn't Rahul Gandhi ji file an affidavit as asked by the Election Commission of India? Now, I'm reading from the Election Commission of India's notice. The ECI is citing Rule 23B of the Registration of Electorals Rule 1960 for Rahul Gandhi to file an affidavit. Now, if anyone reads this rule, and I'm asking NDTV viewers to grok it, ChatGPT it, or Google the rule right now, this rule itself says that this objection can only be filed within 1 month of the electoral roll being prepared. Now, this entire electoral roll was prepared a year and a half ago. I cannot look at that list a year and a half ago because I only get the list a day or two before the elections and it's not machine readable. So the time lapses. Rule 14 of the same act says that if you don't file it in 1 month, you do not have the privilege of filing it again. So if Subhrashya can be kind enough to tell me why is the Election Commission asking me, as in Rahul Gandhi, to file an affidavit in a rule in which he cannot file, because then you will dismiss the rule. Now to the second point. The moot question, as Dr. Anand Ranganathan is saying, is, look, Priyanka Gandhi is cheated, Rahul Gandhi is cheated, Anurag Thakur made this point. Everyone is cheating, Abhishek Banerjee.
I didn't say this. No.
Everyone's cheating.
No.
So, once again,
I'm not
Doctor,
making
please,
that
please
allegation
allow
at
me.
all.
Doctor, please allow me.
But
Doctor,
please don't
okay,
put words in my mouth. That's all.
Okay, the point made by Anurag Thakur is, everyone's cheated. Why doesn't Rahul Gandhi resign? Why doesn't Priyanka Gandhi resign? It cannot be that there is cheating, so it's acceptable. We have the technology to eliminate that cheating. Whether the Brazilian model voted 22 times or no, whether a woman who came in 200 times in 2 assemblies or 2 booths voted or no, whether somebody in house number 0 has 500 people staying there, whatever that house number is, were they staying there or no, why was the physical verification not done, linked to a website where there is proof that the physical verification.
Okay, let Anand reply.
Use of technology. Where is the leader of opposition wrong in asking this? Why are you defending lack of use of technology and clearance of the electoral roll?
No, this is a straw man's argument, I'm afraid, Tehseen, because simple logic tells you, if Rahul Gandhi says that because of duplicate voters there is cheating happening, then by the same logic there were duplicate voters found in Wayanad and Rae Bareli. So does that mean cheating happened there as well and Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi won? That is the issue.
So
and
let everyone resign.
Okay.
Why should only they resign? No cheating is acceptable. Your answer is everyone is cheating, so it's acceptable. Maybe cheating happened in Wayanad, so cheating in Haryana
no cheating is happening. Sorry. I'm saying no cheating is happening.
Exactly.
How?
The point.
I just showed you the evidence. Can you tell me the evidence?
I don't believe in the. I don't
Not
believe in.
evidence of
I don't
cheating.
believe in evidence given over a paper presentation or whatever a multi-slide presentation.
Okay, so is the Election Commission denying it's not their list?
Rahul Gandhi, he should not go to the Election Commission of India. He can go to a court in this country. My question is this: where is the written proof that Rahul Gandhi has presented? He may have presented to you, for all I care.
So
Get us the proof.
again, my question is
Final
that
point,
not the list of the Election
You are a
Commission?
lawyer.
Is the Election Commission
you are a
denying
lawyer.
it's not their list?
Tehseen, you are a lawyer. You know very well that if you allege something, you did not go to that organization first up. You can go to the court and say the EC is corrupt.
Basic.
Please look into it. You are a lawyer. You filed affidavits in the court without going to the organization first. For example, if tomorrow I find that Delhi Jal Board is corrupt, I can go to the court rather than actually filing an affidavit to the Delhi Jal Board saying that you are corrupt, look into this. So you know that very well, and we've had this argument off the record.
So the point is
Rahul Gandhi refuses to go to the court, and you are using this as a straw man's argument that, look, he has to go to the EC first.
So your argument, in
a
essence, Anand, just 1 second. So your argument, in essence, is a strong man intimidates a weak man, and the fault is of the weak man why he's not going to the police station to file an FIR. That's your argument right now. Isn't the Election Commission duty-bound to have free and fair elections?
Tehseen, the argument is this. Some of us believe that the system works. Some of us believe that the system doesn't work. My humble request is those who believe that the system doesn't work should get out of the system and then comment for all I care. Go to Columbia University and go to universities all abroad and talk about it. I don't care.
So your argument,
If you are in the
Subhashra,
system,
is because
if you are
I
in
can't
the
make the
system,
dish in a
then you
restaurant,
have to-
I'm not allowed to
then as a-
complain about the
then
wrong
you
dish.
have to agree to some kind of procedures and some kind of systems that are there in place.
And
If you
what
don't,
is
then you
that
come
system
across
that the
as a
Election
hypocrite.
Commission is set?
And you also come across as entitled. And you
Okay.
also come across as
Almost-
arrogant.
What is
completely-
entitlement?
5 seconds.
What is
10
the
seconds. I have
system
10
the
seconds left.
Election Commission
Anand,
is set?
last word.
Yes. So for it, let us take the example of Rafale. Now,
Forget
Rahul
Rafale.
Gandhi-
Let's talk on the issue at hand.
No, 1 second. I'm
Rafale's
giving you
crash.
an analogy.
Let's talk about
I'm-
this.
Guys, quickly. I'm almost out of time. Yeah, Anand.
How interesting
Rahul,
is this?
Rahul Gandhi did not approach the CVC to talk about corruption in Rafale. Approaching was done to the Supreme Court. Out here, what I mean to say is, and you know this very well, you need not approach the EC to file an affidavit. Go to the Supreme Court. Let the Supreme Court look on the EC whether it's corrupt or not.
So because there are errors that the leader of opposition
Okay.
has found out, he's at fault that the Election Commission is not taking action. Amazing. That's your argument.
I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there. But I will just, I'm a very well-behaved anchor, as you can see, and when I have three wonderful, well-spoken debaters, I'm happy to take the back seat and not constantly interrupt you and intervene and let you have your say. That was very enjoyable. Thanks to the three of you for joining me. I will only have the last small word by saying that if you don't go through the procedure, if you don't go to court or sign the affidavit, however malified you may think it is to bury you in paperwork or procedure, it feels like you're not confident in the allegations you're making. You don't want it to go beyond the theater of just a PowerPoint presentation. That's what the citizen might think if they actually look at it. Else it just remains smoke and mirrors. We'll leave it there for the moment. Anand, Shubhrashta, Tehseen, so glad you could join me tonight on India Matters.